Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Shades Talks live. Here is part of RVTV, and how we all doing, everybody? Yeah, you can tell I'm still recovering from this weekend. I'm barely able to scream right now. It has been an exhausting weekend, running around like a madman, and I'm just kicking shit all over the place right now. Oh my god, but I did not want to waste any time talking to you guys about the exciting weekend we had here over at, well, tonight's topic, shall we say. And that is Rangerstop 3. Rangerstop superhero toy and Comic-Con. You guys, I'm sure, are very curious about what happened this weekend. Was it good? Was it bad? Did we get anything good out of the deal? Well, tonight we're going to talk all about it. And not just the weekend, because things started for us last Monday. And we're going to start there because last year's Rangerstop, me, Easy, and Maddie, we met up at the hotel that Thursday. And we were in, we came in, we hung out, and then we get into the con, and then we all left. They went to the airport or Breezy, the bus stop, that Sunday. So, but this year we decided we wanted to spend a little extra time, get ourselves, ready. So, everyone came in last Monday night, which is why on Tuesday you saw all of us hanging out doing that live Ranger recap mini-sode. They came in Monday night. Well, all day Monday. You get the idea. Very cool time to have that happen, because it's like I got to hang out with my boys, if you will, all week long. And we even shot a review that we've been talking about. We've got a little crossover review we're going to be doing. And unlike last year where it was easy editing it, this time it's my job. I'll be the one putting together the big video. What's it going to be? You're just going to have to wait and find out. You'll also see some other stuff from us this weekend, and we'll get to that as we go along. And it was an exciting weekend for us because we got a lot of firsts happen. First of all, we had Maddie, who came down from Canada for the second time, and we also got the first chance to meet in person Mike Shell. Mike Shell, very cool guy. And we all hit it off, It was funny. I actually was lucky because, and forgive me if I'm a little scatterbrained right now. Like I said, I'm still kind of in recovery from the weekend. Yeah, DLBot, don't you go saying nothing now. Yeah, DLBot, he knows what the review is going to be, because we let him in on it because he was a loyal fan, dedicated enough to actually come down to the con and hang out with us for the weekend. So, and he was very cool. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to him in a minute. Or we'll get to the friends, hanging out with friends thing in a minute. That comes at the con time, my friends. One step at a time. But I was actually lucky because one thing you will learn about me, and I'm going to be freely willing to admit this, I am anything but a clean freak. I am a messy son of a bitch. I cannot keep my house clean to save my life. I've tried. So, to say that the house was a bit messy before the weekend they arrived, is an understatement. We had to scramble to get the house cleaned. But thankfully, it was clean enough. They were cool with it. So, but Mike, Easy, Maddie, all of them, we had a blast. We went to places, and right off the bat, we're going to start showing off a couple pieces of con haul, because these happened before the con. So I'm going to show those off first. The first one is actually, we actually, for those who did not see the Ranger recap minisode yet, we went to Toys R Us and we actually got something for the kids. Because we wanted the kids to be able to... And what do we get? We got this bad boy. And this bad boy. Dino Charge Morpher and the sword. And the sword attachment. It was actually part of a combo pack. And, here we go. I don't have all of them on hand, but I do have at least one Dino Charger. The Parasaur. Pretty sure that the T-Rex and the Velociraptor are floating around here somewhere, but the kids got a hold of them, so they could be anywhere at this point. But I will say this, in comparison to the Kyoryuger versions of these, size isn't the only thing that BOA took out of these things. Obviously, like as many have probably noted, only one charger port, charger port, whereas the Gabba Revolver has two. The other thing, though, to demonstrate is with the sword. Pull this back and plop that open. And we're going to turn you on. Oh, you're already on. Never mind. And we're going to plop that out in here. Shotgun mode. Big frickin' cannon. Now, obviously, the one thing you're gonna do with it is you're gonna do the final attack. Do it right. Pretty badass, I'll admit. But see right here, this part here. I'm gonna put up the camera. See this right here? In the Kyoryuger version of the sword, that actually moved. This actually slides. Because it's supposed to be for like a pump action. Hence why I call this shotgun mode, because this is supposed to be like a shotgun. This does not move. At all. Nothing. They took that feature out of the Dino Charge version. You cheap bastard. And what are you gonna do? So that's that. Dino Charge Morpher. Second one is that I believe it was Maddie I have to thank for these. Geki Changers. From Juken Sentai Geki Ranger. These are the henshin devices for the Japanese version. For those of you who know Jungle Fury, yes, these are not sunglasses. Still don't know to this day. I still don't know why they had to change these from these to sunglasses, but it could be worse. Could be a lot worse, but I have my doubts. These do not have batteries, so I cannot turn this one on. It's just this one though. Only this one makes any noise. But I'm never going to use these anyway, so as far as I know. I can't even wear the damn things. I'm going to have to let my kids use these. The second item on the list is probably going to shock a few of you because this one came courtesy of Easy Rider. And let's just say he's going to have to make some changes in the future for this. Bam. Oh, yeah. Probably a few of you recognize what this little bad boy is. The Skull Magnum. And yes, I think I have it over here somewhere. There it is. It comes complete with this. Oh, yeah. So yeah, Skull Magnum with the skull memory. Very cool. Easy gave me his Skull Magnum. He's going to have to write this out of his videos now. And we've already talked about how that might happen. But now, the only downside is that A, I'm going to need to get new batteries, and B, there might be some corrosion on the battery end. So we're going to have to find a way to fix that. Once we do, though, this thing should be working. The electronics do still seem to work. We just got to fix the little bit of corrosion on one of the battery contacts. So very cool about that. Now, last up for the early con haul. A lot of you guys remember these guys, this thing, my Prism Bicker. Very happy to have this, but it just didn't make sense to not have the appropriate memory for this. I mean, if I'm going to have the weapon, I need to have the memory to hench it into it. So, for the benefit of those with flash photography, yeah, no, Edge and Christian joke, so sue me. I think we're going to demonstrate this properly. Oh yeah. I am a happy son of a bitch indeed. Because now I got this big bad boy. And I do mean big. Because, take a look at this from the side. Look how much of this sticks out in front of the belt. Look at that. All of that is sticking out the front. It's freaking insane. Now, for those of you who have not watched TJ Omega's review of this toy, or any others, there's another cool feature about this little sucker. And it takes a popular common concept, puts a twist on it, and makes it so that this probably won't wear out as quickly. I want you to watch closely at the center dial on the extreme, on where the X is. Might make it hard to see on this camera, but let's see if it picks up. Yeah. It spins. This thing spins. There's actually, I might be hard to see, but right here is a little button. How it usually works is when you close this up, it will push in that button so that when you pull it open, it'll activate the spin motor. It's not electronic. It's simply mechanical. So so this won't wear out over time. And you can just keep on using it, which is really cool. It's kind of like a ripcord kind of thing, but just with a button. I like that, actually. And the other cool thing is I'll close this back up to demonstrate, is that this thing is actually designed for good ease of storage. Why? These come off. Can actually remove the actual memory portion of these, so that all you're left with is the bird. Dude, my cousin is in the chat right now. Hey Bryce, how you doing, man? Actually, as my fans will immediately demonstrate, this is not Ranger gear. I will have to introduce you to Kamen Rider, my friend. I will blow your mind. But yeah, got this from my buddy, from Mike Shell. He bought this for me like a few months ago, and has been holding on to this for me. And I finally get to have that in my collection. And that, combined with a little thing here, for those who don't recall getting that sucker, means that as far as the Gaia memories are concerned, my collection is complete. I have all of Double's memories. The only two things I'm missing are the actual Trigger Magnum, not the Skull Magnum that I already have, but the Trigger Magnum, and the Metal Shaft. Phrasing. Yeah, you were thinking it. So that's been freaking That made my week already. I mean, even if I hadn't gotten anything else this weekend, that alone would have made the whole weekend worth it. Because it's awesome. So, that was how the week started. This was before we even got to the con. So, so we hung out. We went out to eat a few times, got a few other things. And then come Thursday, we drive down to Orlando, hang out, and we get our hotel set up. Thankfully, that went rather smoothly. Even last year, we had a couple little hiccups trying to get our hotel put together. This year, I reserved it months in advance, made sure everything was up to date before we left, and we got to the hotel, got our reservation, got in 2 minutes. Like, no trouble at all. The only problem we had was that, was with payment, because they almost don't. This is a hotel that does not like cash. I'll tell you that right now. This is a hotel that does not like cash very much. The reason I say that is because they can take cash payment, but they still require you to have a credit card or a debit card because they will put a charge on your card, and it takes about 7 to 10 days to clear for the charge to clear. However, during that time, they'll also, if you pay in cash, they will return that charge back to your card, which is what we did. And I know the reason why they do this, because they want to make sure that any fees make sure that even if you skimp out and not pay the fees, you're still going to get charged something. You're not skipping out on that. They want to make sure that you don't skimp on the hotel and leave them hanging. Makes sense. Still a pain in the ass. And I made the mistake of putting on onto my card, when I should have probably asked one of the guys to help with theirs, because I am broke right now. And because of this, we're now in the red. Hopefully that refund will fix that. This also meant that when I transferred $100 of my PayPal money, since, as we discussed last time, the fundraiser didn't go through, we were not getting anything. I was going to use that as spending money for the Rangerstop. So I took $100, transferred over to my bank account, only for that charge from the hotel to immediately take that away. I had no spending money for Rangerstop at all. Anything else I got this weekend, I got with the help of the guys. And I am immensely grateful to them for helping me get the stuff that I got from here on out. But we'll get to that, and we'll go ahead and get that out of the way right now, because I got 3 things. Well, technically 3 things, but one of them's 3 items in one. And you know what? I think we'll start with that, because what I've got here is a necklace, which we'll get to you in a second. Start with these 2 things. Couple little pendants. They were cheap, $5 for both. $5, 2 for $5. Got them on Sunday. Hell of a deal. And I got these from Dozier Studios. You probably heard Maddie talking about these guys before, where he got some of his Legacy Morpher coins. But I got these. They're not exactly like, I don't want to say they're flimsy. They don't feel like, they're not metal. They're plastic. Or some kind of epoxy, like some kind of plastic-like material, PVC maybe, because they don't feel, they feel somewhat flexible. Like, they feel like they're malleable to some extent. Not, like, heavily, they're still pretty thick, but I almost feel like I could bend them if I really wanted to. First one up is this light blue one. Now, it's going to be hard to show, but hopefully the light will catch it a little bit. But it's the Dino Charge logo, or the Kyoryuger logo. Trying to see if the light will catch it right. Really cool. The second one, which is much easier, is Gokaiger. And I believe it's actually Gokai Silver's logo. Because I know that's that the anchor, that's not exactly the direct Gokaiger logo. That's probably Gokai Silver's. And on the back of this one also, and I know it's probably flipped, but Dozier Studio. Dozier himself is a really cool dude, by the way. Really chill dude. Really fun guy to talk with. You know, and the third item on the list is this sucker. Dino Charge Hybrid Charger and Energem. The gem is made of, it looks like a kind of see-through plastic, probably the same material that the pendant is made out of. Obviously, it's a little thicker. And then it's wrapped around a charger. Now, funny enough, I have to wonder why these aren't painted. Because the ones they have on the demo display were painted. Like, they made them look like they had the labels and everything on it. Here, they've got the molding for it, but no paint. But minor inconvenience. Minor disappointment. Nothing to lose sleep over. Now, the cool thing is it comes with the necklace, and it comes with this little thing here, which is actually, I believe, is actually a magnet. Because this end actually has a little bit of metal on it, so that it'll hook on. You can just pop it off anytime you want. Really cool. It was, I believe, $30 for one of these, because they're a lot more complex and there's a lot more material involved, so they're a little bit more expensive, but they were good. So, very cool thing. Second I'm on the list is actually another fan gave me a gift. I can't remember who it was. I remember it was not one of our regulars that we talk with a lot, but he is apparently he was a lurker, and I remember we met him last year at Rangerstop. I forget it, but he gave me and Easy each a gift. He gave Easy a copy of the Gamera collection, but Easy even admitted that what I got made even him jealous. Bam! SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Double Cyclone Joker. Someone gave me this for free. When they walked up to me and handed me this and, placed it in my hands, I looked at them and I swear to God, my jaw hit the floor. Because I was not expecting, no one told me this was coming. The Extreme member I was excited to get, but I knew that was coming. I had no clue someone was going to give me this thing. It blew my mind to see this. And if that guy's watching, thank you. Sincerely, thank you. I still am blown away that I got this for free. I always was figuring I was going to get one eventually. But you know how expensive figure arts can be. Like $40-50 for one of these things. I honestly figured it was going to be a while before I was ever going to be able to save up the money for one of these things before getting everything else I needed. Now I've got one. Freaking amazing. Just freaking amazing. Last item, I promise. Now, for those who know, I had been promised a certain toy for a while now from somebody. I'm not going to say who. Not going to throw anybody under the bus here. But it didn't happen. I'm not mad. Things happen, but I still wanted it. And there's a certain series that I've been wanting a toy from for a long time. And aside from a certain tall, very inarticulate figure I have, I didn't have anything. Well, this weekend, that finally ended. They had a good deal. Actually, our friends over at the Florida Kamen Rider Super Sentai fan club on Facebook had a booth and were selling a lot of figures. Mandy, I think her name was the one running the booth. Very cool girl. And they had something that we knew was going to sell fast, so day one, we got the son of a bitch. Easy actually helped cobble the money together, and we got the damn thing. What is it? Oh, yeah. You probably saw this if you're on the Ranger Recap Facebook page, if you follow me. if you follow it. But what time is it?
It's morphin' time.
Oh, yeah. One cool feature about this one. This right here. See right here? That is not a speaker. That's a microphone. Let's open. This thing has certain commands that are voice activated. I'm not even kidding. Why?
Check. Okay. Gonna have to switch over to my my webcam mic, so I apologize if the sound quality dips, but apparently my Yeti just died. I don't even know how. It just cut out all of a sudden. I'm gonna try to get it back here in a second, but until I do, this will have to do. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened there. All right. Anyway, let's try this again. Now I'm gonna pull the trigger, hold it down.
Boost up for Buster.
Now you notice it's quiet. Watch. Boom. It happened. So yeah, that is freaking badass. Now, Bryce, since I know you're in the chat and you probably you don't even know what this is from, because it's from a Power Ranger season, Sentai season, the series that was adapted into Power Rangers. This is from a Sentai that never came to the States. Tokume Sentai, go Bustas! Oh yes, and also, thank you, Red Rob. RVT Entertainment, never without a botch. But I finally have me a freaking morphing blaster. I am one happy son of a bitch. Because it's shades, sunglasses, in a morphing device. I should have had this years ago. But I have one now. I'm very happy right now. And again, most of this I did not pay for myself, though I did chip in a few things. I paid for the pendants, I paid for a couple of things, and I did pay my part through the hotel, and I did chip in for food every once in a while when I could. So it's not like I went completely broke. Also, Bryce, do me a favor. Since you're here, don't tell the rest of the family. If Danny finds out about this, he's going to have a heart attack. I didn't pay too much, I didn't spend too much, but let's just not get into that. Okay. Anyway, back on topic. Alright, so we get to the con. Now let's get to the con itself. I'm going to tell you guys right now, we had a blast this weekend. Like, there is no doubt about it. This was better than last year. Especially with our panel, which, again, for those who don't know, for the general public, we started the con. We were the first panel of the con, and we were open before the dealer's room was open. That's how much we were feeling badass this weekend. Thank you, by the way, Bryce. And though we had a little bit of a snag because the way they had everything sectioned off, when they were opening, when the VIPs could go directly into the hallway by the time our panel started, but the general public could not go through even just the hallway to the panel room. So getting to us was a bit of a challenge. We actually had to go through the outside hallway, which literally goes outside, out and around, near the pool area, around to the pool area, and then there's another doorway that goes into our panel room. So I had to be the one to go out into the crowd tell people about our panel, and tell everyone who was interested to come follow me to the panel room so they could check it out. This worked better than I possibly could have imagined. This was it was amazing. We had more than half the room filled when we started. And unlike last year where, people were curious but they kind of tuned out and left, here people stayed through the whole panel. And more people were coming in even towards the end. It was mind-blowing. And here's the even crazier bit. And this is insane. I still can't believe this happened. As you guys know, Zeron Zephyr, toy reviewer, big-time YouTuber, he was invited as a special guest. He was on the website as a guest. He had a panel about half an hour, like in between ours. In the middle of ours, his starts. Because ours was at 4, his was at 4:30. When his panel started, he had 2 people in his panel. And they were just killing time because as soon as 5 o'clock hit, the dealer's room opened, they were out. They were gone. We did better than Zeron Zephyr. I'm not even kidding. I felt bad for the guy. I honestly did. I really felt bad because, he's the invited guest, yet we, as, D-list at best, outdid him. Unintentionally. We weren't trying to compete with him. We weren't trying to do better than him. It just ended up that way. We actually felt bad. We actually invited him, as a way of saying sorry. We actually took him out for a drink that night. We actually bought a round of drinks on him for him and his buddy. Ooh, by the way, Dustin, aka Buck, if you know his stuff, if you know who Buck is, that guy is a fucking trip. I'm not even kidding. The stories he told us, I'm not going to share anything because I don't honestly remember most of them. Actually, no, Justice Zeron was not mad. At least he didn't seem mad. He seemed like he just kind of he just kind of shrugged it off. But I would be I'd be a fool to think if he wasn't at least a little disappointed that his panel did so poorly. But then again, I think it's because Johnimus, Mikey, if you guys ever see the recording of this, don't pull that again. Don't block off the hallway like that again, because that backfired for people. It really did. It screwed over Zeron badly, but he didn't seem mad, and he certainly didn't blame us for it. He wasn't mad at us. And we tried our best not to shove it in his face. Because it was more like, hey, dude, we feel bad. We did not intend for that. So we bought him beer, and we hung out, and he was fun. And again, Buck, freaking trip and a half, man. That guy is insane, and in all the right ways. Definitely, I would highly encourage you guys, check out Zeron's stuff. Show him some love. If you're not following him already, check him out. He does some great toy reviews. He points out, he does videos on bootleg Kamen Rider toys that are hilarious. Some of them are just like, oh my god, I can't believe they made that. And check out his O's driver review, especially. Oh, the O's drivers. Oh, ugh. No. And he's one of the few toy reviewers that shoots in 4K. Yeah, I said 4K, not 1080p. Fucking 4K footage. He does. You want to talk about high quality? That's your man right there. Go check him out. So very cool guys. And we felt bad for that panel, but our panel freaking did fantastic. And don't worry, folks. We have footage. We actually got it from 2 different angles. We actually had 2 cameras running for it. We had a still camera that basically caught the main group of us standing there, and then we had Mike Shell on the roaming cam. So we got it from 2 different angles. Now, bear in mind, we may not have gotten the entire Q&A because my camera died somehow mid panel. So we're gonna see how Mike's handled. If the footage is usable, we'll probably have the whole thing. If not, we may only have the riff and maybe some highlights of the Q&A. But Q&A was also just as active. And shout out to DLBot, SolarStar, and a few others. You guys really helped get the Q&A going because you guys started it off, asked some good questions, and then the rest of the crowd just followed suit. And we got some really good questions out of it. I was very happy about it. So you guys will definitely want to check that out if we can get all that together. At the very least, we do have the riff. What it is, you'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Maddie J in the chat, folks. Oh, goodness. Gee, I wonder if Maddie made it home. Yeah, yeah. You make it home all right, buddy? Because, very cool times, though. Very cool. You guys will definitely want to check out the video for the panel. It's an amazing panel. We had a fun. We had a blast. And again, thank you to our fans for helping make that panel something. And if there's any of our new fans in the chat, thank you guys for making our weekend. I know for a fact we got at least one new subscriber on the RBT channel because I actually saw them subscribe on their phone. So very cool. But then of course I'll admit I'm not a very big panel guy. I don't go to a lot of panels. So I only caught 2 of them, and even then I didn't really sit through the whole thing. We checked out a little bit of a stunt panel feature that was hosted by Dan Southworth and Ruben Langdon with a special guest, with an appearance by the mystery guest, who I will get to in just a moment, though I'm sure a lot of you probably already know who it is by now, if you've been paying attention. Okay, so Maddie's in Toronto right now. He's on his way back, but I guess he gets some free time, so we popped on the Wi-Fi and heard about checked out my stream. Hope we can keep you busy for a little while, Maddie. Dioba, I don't know yet. We'll see. I'll see if we got the unmasking. I know we got enough time that probably Mike probably got it. Where was I? Okay. I remember the other panel was, it was something about Resident Evil, because it was, again, Ruben Langdon, Jason Font, Dan Southworth was in there for a little bit, and they were showing some, they actually had some, behind the scenes stuff, I guess for Resident Evil 6, where they showed them shooting footage for a test run. Basically showing a concept video, if you will. It was really cool. It was awesome to see. But it was funny. They showed scenes where what was it? I don't know. Troy Baker had a few scenes, but he's not a very big action star. He's just a voice actor. So whenever there was an action scene, it would be obviously it wasn't Troy, but it was actually Dan Southworth doing the scene, wearing a blonde wig. But you could clearly tell it was not Troy Baker. DLBot, you know what? We didn't go to the VIP dinner because we felt it was unnecessary. We've gotten footage from the first one, from last year's. We didn't want to, impose on that again. But hey, you know what? If you enjoyed it, great. Fantastic. I would have loved to have seen it. Oh, yeah, and them bloopers, Maddie. Oh, yes, there were some hilarious bloopers they had from that show, from the Resident Evil 6 shoot. It was hilarious. And they even shared the story of about apparently how originally there was supposed to be a scene involving hot dogs. If anyone has played Resident Evil 6, there's a scene where where one of the guys is eating a steak, and they're talking. Chris Redfield was at a diner or something, eating a steak, and one of the other characters comes up and basically tries to get him back. It tells him that he needs to get back on the force. He's basically getting drafted back in. Instead of a steak, the producers of the game apparently wanted hot dogs. They wanted him eating a hot dog. Oh, good God. Seriously? Oh, my God. DLBot just pointed out in the chat. Apparently, Dan Southwood and Jason Vaughn apparently stripped their shirts off during the VIP dinner. Oh, my God. Maddie, I don't have Skype up right now. I wasn't expecting you guys to be available. So give me a minute. I'll see what I can do. But that is hilarious. Also, forgive me in advance if you hold on. Let me do this real quick. There we go. Freaking amazing stuff that we saw. Now, as for the guests, a lot of awesome guests. They had, of course, they had the SPD reunion. Brandon J. McLaren, Chris Follett, Matt Austin, Monica May, Alicia Perrott. Didn't you get a chance to hang out with them this weekend? And unfortunately, they were we didn't get. We only had a couple of interviews, but unfortunately, a couple of them were not available. But unfortunately, something went wrong. We didn't get any of them, so we did not get any of the SPD cast for interviews. Don't worry, it's not the end of the world. But we did get some plugs from. We pretty much got plugs from everybody but Matt Austin. And all of them were, and everyone we talked with were really cool guys. So no love lost with the SPD cast. It's definitely not one of those kind of cases. All right. Let me see if Maddie's ready here. Maddie, you ready to go? But as we get Maddie in here real quick. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I keep losing my train of thought here. Oh, here we go. That's probably him ready. Yep. Let's get Maddie J in here, shall we?
Yeah.
Maddie!
I can't see the shut and finish because, well, second base, but I can at least talk to you.
Yeah, you're coming in really, really distorted there thanks to that Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it happened. Just wanted to say hi. I'm safe, still in Toronto. I'm married with the Sengoku driver.
Yeah, this son of a bitch over here got a Sengoku driver, folks. he is happy in his head.
Place. Militants, customs fight acting out. Oh God, the stories we have to tell you on Wednesday.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna share all any stories outside of my own because these guys have their own stories to tell, and you guys will be hearing their stories on Wednesday. I just want to get mine out of the way because I know me. I want to talk a lot more, so let me get this out of my system now before Wednesday and let you guys have the floor.
Did you tell him what you got?
What's that?
Did you tell him what you got?
Oh yeah, I already shared my con hall. I already showed off my con hall. Oh yes.
Trust me, this man is still happy in that place, and so is Lady K. I said, but, there's a video out there, and I try to fix it as much as possible. I'll see if I can post it, but it's been vertical video.
Okay, Maddie, you are coming in really distorted. Like you're coming in muffled. It's muffling your voice.
Alright, well, I'll tell you what. I'll see you tomorrow for the recap.
Yep, we'll see you tomorrow for the recap, bro.
Alright. I'll be in the chat.
All right, have a good one, man.
See you later, everybody.
He tried, folks. He tried. But yeah. Anyway, back to what we were talking about here. And of course we had Sierra Hanna from Super Mega Force. She looked beautiful this weekend. She honestly looked gorgeous. So and you know me, I'm very loyal to I'm very happily married. But that don't mean I don't look. That don't mean I ain't looking. I just know I ain't touching. But Sierra was freaking gorgeous. As were a lot of the ladies this weekend, like Nakia, Nakia Baris, Catherine Sutherland, Melody Perkins, Hillary Shepard, all of them just looked gorgeous this weekend. They kept their appearances up good. And just an easy, lucky son of a bitch that he is. He got to sit down and talk with her. You'll be seeing that interview with her later this weekend. or later on, sometime this month. I'm already started the process of working on the interviews, though I do need to get audio from Easy to get those completed. So once I get those, which probably won't take long, you'll get to see those, and you guys will be able a chance to get some good looks, get a look at Sierra too, and I guarantee you'll understand what I'm talking about there. Oh man! Ow! Well, apparently I've woken up the wife.
You think I couldn't hear you? You think I couldn't hear you?
I said I just looked. I'm just looking. I ain't touching. I promise. I know who I'm coming home to at night. I promise.
You know what woke me up?
Huh?
Move your hand. Wah, 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 wah.
Oh, you heard Maddie?
Oh yeah.
Ow! Ow!
You know what that was for? Wake me up.
Sorry!
Evening, folks.
LPH? Too late. You know what, honey? You got one for LPH?
In a minute.
Oh, I see how it is, Dale, but yeah. Play with me all weekend long. As soon as I get hit, you're quick to jump on her side. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the support there, buddy. Let's go. Everybody looked good this weekend. Guys and gals alike, okay? We'll leave it at that. And yeah, if you guys saw Natty's first-person Natty for the interview, you got an idea of what how Sierra looked. Bryce, you don't know. Oh, honey, yeah, I don't know if you heard. Bryce is in the chat. But don't worry, Bryce. It's a running gag. Oh, speaking of running gags, Natty, I think I'm going to share with them our new running gag, because one of the common things that happened this weekend was we all came up with some brilliant ideas as the weekend went on.
If you're doing end zone casting,
No, I promise you, it is not end zone cast. I promise you.
Hi, Bryce.
No. What we did is actually we took a page out of the American Dream.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. Hey, Steve, what you doing? I'm a genius. We did that so many times this weekend. I'm not even kidding. Mike Shell especially. My God, that man came up with so much shit this weekend. So much shit.
That's not the only thing he did.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's one part of the con we forgot to show off, mainly because it's not for me. Mike Shell redeemed himself this week.
Oh my God, he only got thwacked twice because of it.
This son of a bitch went out of his way to get something that Lady K has been wanting for a goddamn long time, and now she has it.
Shoot it.
I can't. That's as far as I go. Here. Folks, what you are looking at
It's master grade.
a master grade Death Scythe custom from Endless Waltz. No, originally it's on sale for $72 at the con. But because Mike waited until Sunday and the guy had two of them sitting up there, he was more than happy to get rid of it for $65. My jaw hit the floor when he brought that to my attention.
Oh my God, I'm so happy.
And you should have seen the look on her face when we walked in the door with that thing.
I knew exactly what they had. Because he kept telling me, put down the controller, close your... You guys got me Death Scythe.
We were going to try to surprise her with it, but she caught on too damn quick. Then again, I did tell you it was there, so you pretty much put two and two together. That's what I figured. Even Bryce is like, oh, OMG.
Hi, guys.
My God, yeah. She squealed like a schoolgirl. She seriously did. That combined with the frog gun that she got.
Oh, no. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, got to show that out. Yeah, for those who didn't, yeah, Maddie, she is happy in her head place. And of course, the other thing she got, courtesy of Easy, she's setting it up right now. Bryce, you know Shauna's a frog lover.
Get it.
Yeah.
That was for you, Neobot.
Actually, it's LPH that needs one too.
Oh, excuse me, LPH.
Because he brought the Bellas. He did a Bellas reference.
Actually, they're still in Paris and nobody knows what's going on with them.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Maddie, did you hear that? We might want to verify this story. Hold
I'll
on.
pull up the article I saw it on.
Here, hold on. I'm pulling up Nudie Key right now. I want to see this. That's scary. Hold on.
Bells in Paris. Let me go get my phone and I'll look it up for you.
Yeah, yeah, because I want to verify that claim. So I didn't see anything like that. I hadn't heard anything. That T-Dub would have blown up on that shit. If anyone in the chat knows the story she's talking about, because I don't remember hearing anything about that, and something like that we would have heard. Yeah, I don't see anything on that. If anyone wants to verify that, please let me know. I mean, I know one sad thing happened was that legendary wrestler Nick Bockwinkel died, but I didn't hear anything about the Bellas. Hey, Justice, you better believe she would. Maddie, apparently, according to Lady K, apparently the Bellas and maybe some other superstars got stuck in Paris because after the recent attacks. I haven't heard anything about this. I don't see anything that says that.
Here it is.
Okay,
WrestlingSourceNews.com.
All right, let me take a look at this article. Okay. It's not kayfabe news, Maddie, so there might be some legitimacy to this. Okay, wrestling stars in Paris horror phone. Let's see. Series of coordinated terror attacks in the heart of Paris left like 60 dead and 100 being hostage. Number of wrestling stars are currently in Paris, including WWE divas The Bellas, who have yet to tweet their status. TNA TV host Jeremy Borash is currently in the city and tweeted the following. He quoted, with Jade O'Malley right now in Paris, about 4 miles from the attacks. We were safe, scary stuff. Just got back to the hotel in Paris. Streets are empty, very eerie. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is legit.
The Jerry Borash thing does lend some credence to this story. All right.
I might want to ease off the Bellas tonight.
Yeah, Maddie, I think we may have to ease off the Bellas right now. Hold on. I'm going to do something I never thought I'd do. I'm going to check their Twitter. I want to see if there's anything going with this. Because I don't normally follow the Bellas on Twitter, obviously. I don't follow people I could give a damn about. But I at least want to see if there's any update on this situation. Because it's clear Jeremy Borash did tweet those tweets. Keepella. I know she's. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're back, because I got the official Bella Twins Twitter did update 10 minutes ago.
Unless somebody's updating it for them.
Hold on, there's some Instagram posts here, too. I'm starting to think they made it back. Yeah, this was an hour ago. They're fine.
Okay. All right. Bash all you want.
Yep. Because, yeah, they're fine. At the very least, that we know they're alive.
What time is it?
It's just about 9 o'clock.
Do we have a Marcos around?
Marcos? Marcos Pizza?
Yeah.
Not sure.
I have the most ridiculous craving for a calzone.
Anywho, let's get back on topic, shall we? We're talking Rangerstop here.
My sketchbook's breaking.
Yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, all right. So all of the guests were cool, and of course there's the mystery guest. And Dealbot already kind of name dropped him in the chat, but if you hadn't heard, yeah, folks. Hold on. Actually, I've got one last item I forgot to show off, and I think it perfectly represents what's going on this weekend. What happened this weekend? Now, did I drop it on the floor? I had it up here earlier. Probably moved somewhere. My patch that I got.
No clue where you put it, love.
It was up here earlier. With all the stuff I moved around, it probably disappeared on me somehow.
Like my A string.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Like my A string.
Anyway, who was the special guest this weekend? This guy. Oh yeah, the Yoshi Army was in full swing because the Commander-in-Chief himself was at Rangerstop. Yoshi fucking Sadarso. Oh! Now, little known fact. Johnmus Prime had informed the the three of us like almost a half a year in advance that this was that they were working on this. We knew well ahead of time he was coming. But we could not spill the beans. Much like Austin St. John the year before. We knew about it, but we could not tell you. Because they could not announce it. Yoshi was an unofficial guest because he's still in the contract with Saban. He cannot be considered an official guest. That's why they had to make him a mystery guest, because he's unofficial. But he crashed the panels. He was having fun with everybody. And, dude, Yoshi was fucking chill. Like, he lives up to the hype. He really does. He had a lot of fun stories to tell. He was hanging out with everybody. Just freaking badass. Like, if we didn't love Yoshi before, we do now. We love the guy. So, definitely nothing but love, support the Yoshi Army. Join up and spread the word, because this guy's a freaking badass. Very cool times. And I remember he was sharing some stories in the stunt panel with Ruben and Dan. And he had some interesting stories about some stuff that happened with him. Very fun stuff. And he also got his trial by fire at the After Dark panel. Oh yes, folks. The After Dark panel. Now, I'm not going to lie. This year's After Dark panel was not as awesome as last year's. I'm not going to say it was bad. It was still fun, but there wasn't as many people, and aside from a couple of standouts, a lot of them didn't really contribute much. Kind of sad by that, honestly. It's not really anyone's fault. It just kind of ended up that way. I mean, none of the ladies showed up at all. And I don't even think any of the SPD guys showed up. Like, it was... I can't remember who all was there. I remember most of who was there. But, like, it was pretty lacking. That, and, you know, there was a couple personal things. We had a guy behind us who was bitching the entire time because there was no ladies in the group. And to the point where Easy was about ready to deck the son of a bitch. Because he couldn't hear the panel. Because all I could hear is this guy behind, "Where are the ladies? We need oxygen." Fuck you, dude. Seriously, fuck you. And there was a couple other things, but a lot of that's the kind of stuff I don't need to be airing publicly, so just know that. Yeah, probably the dinner was better, DL by. But then again, that's a lot more personal. That's a more one-on-one, well, somewhat kind of thing. But yeah, it was still fun. We still had a few good laughs out of it. I'm not going to say what was said there, just like last time, because I am not one to air someone else's dirty laundry. I can tell you that there wasn't really any big secrets revealed, but there were a couple comments there that if I said them out loud, if I said them here, I'd probably piss a lot of people off. So I'm not going to do that. All I'm going to say is that you got to come to Rangerstop, and you got to check out the panel yourself to learn a lot of this stuff. Some of it is just absolutely hilarious. Though, if you do go, say goodbye to your childhood, because it's going away. It will die. It will die that night. I promise you. Anyway, of course, as I mentioned earlier, we did get a few interviews. Aside from the SPD guys that we were originally scheduled, we only missed out on, I think, one other interview. We missed out on Rhett Fisher, as far as the ones that were actually scheduled for us ahead of time. But we got pretty much everybody else. Because we got Sierra, like I mentioned earlier. We got Michael Capone, Time Force Blue. We got Dan Southworth, the Quantum Ranger bitch. I got the chance to sit down for that one. We got Blake Foster, Justin Turbo Blue, and who was the other one? Oh, Ruben Langdon, Dante from Devil May Cry, and also a Bee Fighter. And I'm gonna give you guys a heads up right now. Even though he was not the first one we recorded, Ruben will be the first one out because I want to get that interview out immediately. Because there was a question, that he asked, that Easy asked, that apparently Ruben has never been asked before, and it was one that he was very glad to have been asked. So we're gonna air that son of a bitch immediately. I've already got the preliminary work done. All I need really is the audio from Easy, and it's ready. So that was very awesome. Now, A-Justice brings up a good big question. What about Johnny? I was talking up a storm about getting Johnny. We did try. But apparently, according to Johnny himself, he does not do one-on-one interviews anymore. Apparently, there was something personal that happened with one interview that he basically said never again. However,
That wasn't ours.
it wasn't ours. He actually didn't even really remember ours that much. He kind of remembered once I brought it up, but it definitely was not that interview that was the problem.
Gotcha.
No, it was, but thankfully not all is lost because Easy saved the day for us. While one-on-one interviews are out of the question, a group interview over Skype, he was willing to do. We're going to be in contact with him soon, and we're going to try to see if we can bring him on as a guest for the Ranger recap in the future. Don't quote us on when that's going to happen, because I honestly don't know, but we're going to give it a shot. Wow, I did not know that deal. But apparently this was Blake Foster's last con. He's actually getting ready to move to California to open up a dojo. So big on that. And so that might have been why he was a lot more willing to do an interview this year, because from what I know, Blake is not one to give out interviews very often. Easy couldn't get one when he was at Morphicon one year. So the fact that I got it is quite frankly miraculous. But I will say this right now. Blake, really cool guy. You know, he has not let the past criticisms of his character get the better of him. He is very chill. So you guys can look forward to that interview. We did not get one bad interview this year at all. We didn't even get a boring interview. All of our interviews were fun and just awesome. So I am going to be very happy to put these together. I'll see what I can do, Justice. Hell, he's going to be at the Ranger Recap. If we do it live, you can tell him yourself. We'll see. No promises, though. No promises. I don't know when this is going to happen yet. We're going to get in contact with him, and we're going to see what we can set up. Shouldn't be hard, since now we know we can do this. I'm probably going to be contacting him today or tomorrow.
I'm going to warn you right now. You bring up the reason I love frogs so much on the Ranger Recap, I'm going to kill you. You will not make it to that Sunday's Toku Riffs.
I'm sorry, hun, but with this, sir, this is a once in a life. This is a one last chance. I make no promises. I make no promises. I will suffer the consequences. I will take that risk.
Your funeral.
So be it. Anyhow, that's for another day, though. But yeah, we didn't even get a boring interview. I was very happy about that. Not one boring interview. Every year when we do a con, there's always that one interview that just, for one reason or another, is off. Not bad, just off.
Mine was Robbie.
Hey, I had one too with Stephanie. Remember that. So don't feel bad.
We had 2 boring interviews this year.
I wouldn't say boring, just off.
Off. Okay.
Both of them were still really good. And that was more us than them.
And I admitted that too.
Well, actually, anyway. If you've seen our interviews with Robbie Damon and Stephanie Shea from MetroCon, you know what we're talking about. But this year, we did not have one of those interviews. Every one of them was fun. Just go, go, go. The questions were answered really quick. You know, they took their time with their answers, but they kept going. They were talkers. All of them were fucking talkers. Good God, Dan Southwood especially. Good God, that man does not know when to shut up. It was a great interview. Don't get me wrong. It was fantastic. But man, that guy can go. But
Phrasing.
Oh yeah, they got her into Archer.
They introduced me to Archer.
They introduced her to Archer finally. It was a crazy weekend.
Still give me the librarians any day and I'm good.
Where was I gonna go?
High Octane Dan Southworth.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, actually, there was one bad thing that happened this weekend. It didn't happen to us, and it wasn't anything against anybody. It was just some jackass. Folks.
Oh, the thief.
Yeah, don't be a thief. Apparently, there were some people who were either directly stealing, or even worse, being fucking scam artists. They were either saying they didn't have their card wasn't working or something like that, or they didn't have the cash or they had their card or something like that. And some of them were just charging and then immediately denying the charges at the bank. Like a fucking moron. Needless to say, stuff got stolen and people were pissed. I was talking with Dozier over at Dozier Studios, and apparently he got hit. And he is a fucking cowboy. I mean, he wears a cowboy hat all the time, and he looks the part.
He's a nerdy cowboy.
Yeah, he's a nerdy cowboy. Let's put it this way.
Jake Stone.
It would be like if Uncle Scott was a cowboy, or was a geek.
Or Bryce.
Or Bryce. Well, yeah.
It's Bryce.
He's bald. It's Scott.
Gotcha.
This would be if Scott was a geek.
Sorry, I'm looking for Bryce. Shadow Realm, got it.
But and Bryce, you imagine if your dad was as big a geek as you are. And just picture that. This guy was pretty much on the warpath. He said if anyone stole from any of the other vendors, he was going to whoop their ass.
Yeah, that sounds like something Uncle Scott would say.
Yeah, oh yes. and that didn't back me up. I'm not even getting that. Just picture that for a minute. That's what you would get. This guy, that's what Dozier is. And he was freaking not happy.
Lady K is trying to get back on her sleep schedule, and she's failing
miserably. But that was the worst thing that happened this weekend, honestly. I mean, again, there was a couple other little things, but a lot of that I really don't feel like talking about here. Yeah, kind of love that stream delay, right?
Oh, yeah.
If I remember, I probably should have put the chat up over here so you guys could see when we're responding to shit. But it was, and then of course we had a lot of personal things, like we said. Friday night after the what happened at our panel, we took Zeron and his buddies, a couple of his buddies out for some drinks. I got myself drunk. I'm sorry.
I haven't touched alcohol since MetroCon.
Up until this weekend, neither did I.
You got blasted this weekend.
Yeah, like I said, up until MetroCon, neither did I. But hey, they were buying.
Quit digging yourself in.
Bryce, dude, you play a ton of video games. Yes, and on top of Yu-Gi-Oh, and you're into some other stuff. You're a fucking geek, dude. You're one of us. Don't even lie.
One of us.
One of us. One of us. Don't even lie. Don't even frickin' lie. Need I remind you, you're the guy who used to play RuneScape all the time? Don't think I forgot.
Okay, you might not be on the same level of geekiness that we are, but you're still a geek. All of us have redeeming qualities, however slim they may be.
Dealbot, you didn't see me Friday night. You want to think about drunk? You didn't see me Friday night. Let's put it this way. I know I'm risking it, but I have to say that I have to share this part.
Oh, actually, I was gonna drop a little hint about this little guy, about what I plan to do.
Well, no spoilers for that.
No spoilers?
No spoilers. No spoilers. But one thing that we can share is that after we went drinking on Friday night, we were walking back to our hotel room, and I'm stumbling. I'm not walking straight at all. And this was after 2 beers. But then again, they were this tall, and they were freaking like strong ones.
And they were back to back.
Yeah. Sam Adams Rebel, 6.5% alcohol. I basically had the equivalent of 4 cans of that.
Back to back to back.
Back to back. Yeah. Needless to say, I was a little, and I'm a lightweight too. Let's bear that in mind. I am a fucking lightweight.
I'm not.
You hush. So, needless to say, I was buzzed.
Shit, I got hammered on fucking Saturday night at MetroCon.
Yeah, I remember. But we
I
go walk.
didn't have a hangover.
No, hush. I didn't have that bad a one. Anyway, we're walking back to our hotel room. We get to the elevator, and who the fuck should be standing there but good old Jason Font? Time Force Red was waiting for the. We literally shared an elevator, drunk off our asses with freaking Wes Collins, and he could tell. We weren't hiding nothing from him. He's known to be quite the drinker himself, as I've seen in the past. So he immediately could tell. He was like, "You guys look like you're fucking wasted." But thankfully, aside from us giggling, laughing, and stumbling around a little bit, we didn't do anything to embarrass ourselves that badly.
Other than typical jackassery, you mean?
Other than us, yeah, again, other than the stumbling and, typical drunken, giggliness, we thankfully...
Okay, you're sounding like a chick there.
I'm just saying, I was laughing a lot.
Giggles are for ladies.
Oh, whatever. You get my point. But yeah, he thankfully we didn't do anything like none of us threw up on anybody, so I think we were good there. And I even like out of walked up to him the next day. I'm like, dude, sorry for embarrassing ourselves there. Like, no, dude, you guys are fine. You guys are having fun. He did not really seem, he didn't seem too bad about it. He seemed like he was like, hey, you guys are having fun. I don't care. Thankfully, he didn't have his kids with him in the elevator. He had his family that weekend. In fact, a lot of them did. Austin had his kids, I think. Austin St. John had his family there. There was a lot of them that had kids. It's freaking crazy.
I feel old.
I know, right? Then again, we have kids who watch Power Rangers now.
I feel ridiculously old.
I know. I do too. I'm older than you, remember that. But and hell, we know Johnny's got kids. I think he might have brought his. Look at your phone.
Alistair for the win.
But
Oh yeah, tell him what happened to the PlayStation remote.
oh yeah, we're now down 2 PlayStation controllers. We had to get a new one off eBay today because one of them is completely dead. It didn't work no more. I'm gonna try to see at some point if I can get it working again, but I don't know what happened. I think something shorted. The other one, the freaking shoulder button broke off.
R1 and R2.
Yeah, the shoulder buttons are gone.
I can't attack.
She can't play her Skyrim right now. And Lady K is sad.
Hurry up and get off the fucking computer.
Would you stop?
No.
No, I did not. No, I don't see anything. I don't have my my Twitter up. I don't usually keep my Twitter up during streams because normally it causes me trouble, and my phone has been giving me shit today. Let me see what you're talking about. No, my Twitter did go off. Oh, here we go. Okay. You sent me a... not bad. Not bad, my friend. Look at
what?
Beast Wars fan sent a pic of him dressed up as Mighty Morphin Red. Looks pretty good. Where'd you get the helmet at, man? Anyway. Then, of course, a lot of the things that happened, of course, if you guys follow Matty J on YouTube, he posted a lot of first-person Natty videos. We found, but we'll save a few of those for Wednesday when Natty does Matty J Live. Myself, Mike Shell, Matty, and hopefully even Easy might be joining us for that one. Maybe. We don't know yet. But he's going to share his story. They're going to share their stories. I'm getting most of mine out now, so that way I don't have to be as antsy to talk about mine. But a couple of things happened involving me. One of which, of course, if you saw, I kicked Ivan Ooze's ass in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Fighting Edition. First try, normal difficulty, no game overs. I friggin' owned his ass. And I remember I used to have a hard time beating that game before on easy mode. Now here I am on normal difficulty, whooping his ass left and right. I feel like the fucking man. And then, of course, you might have seen Mike Shell beat the hell out of Matty and Easy in air hockey, only for me to turn around and Brock Lesnar his ass.
7-2.
7-2. He was John Cena, and then I was Brock Lesnar. Again, go look up Matty J's YouTube page. Check out his videos. He's got a few of those. He's got a few others as well that you guys might want to see. Get you guys an insight of what the con was like. But just, so much fun. And then, of course, actually, one other person we got to hang out with was Seraph over at Broken Infinite. He had finally got a chance to come down. He stayed with us for the first night, and then we hung out a little bit on Saturday night. Even went out to Golden Corral, the group of us. And I'm going to say this right now, and I'm going to go ahead and say phrasing ahead of time. But when it came to, especially in the food wise, we popped a lot of cherries this weekend. Because Maddie and even Mike Show got the chance to try some foods that they had, or try some foods, some restaurants and stuff like that they'd never had before. Hell, on the way to the airport today, we stopped over by Dunkin' Donuts. Apparently, Mike Shell's never had Dunkin' before. Yeah, Mike Shell has never had Dunkin'. So he got himself a croissant sandwich and a snickerdoodle donut, because that's one of the specialty ones this month. So, all right. I pretty much covered a lot of what we have been. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'd be love to see what you guys want to know. But big thank you to Mikey, Jonamus, and everybody at the con for for putting on such a great con and for helping us out too, because actually John's crew actually helped us here and there. Like you'll see, especially with like Sierra's interview, you might notice the lighting's a lot better because we actually got the chance to borrow a bit of their lighting kit, and they have a pull-on professional like light box. Very cool there. Very fun. Got a chance to use that son of a bitch. Kind of wish I had one of my own. But those things are fucking expensive. But it was worth it. It paid off. It looks fantastic. So you'll definitely see that when we do Sierra's interview. And big thanks to all of their help. They really made this weekend a lot of fun. I mean, Jonathan always worries that like we're gonna have a ShadowCon moment. For those who know, Mike, the dealer's room was interesting this year. They had a lot of vendors actually out in the main hallway because they had to cut down on how many vendors they had in the dealer's room itself due to the fact that nice. Bryce is actually gonna he's gonna play some Star Wars Battlefront, so he's going up to GameStop to get it soon. But yeah, the dealer's room, it was pretty large, but the problem is that more than half of it was taken up by the guest booths, by the guest autograph booths. There was literally more than half of it was guest autograph booths. There was not that much room for vendors in there. They had to actually have a few of them out in the main hallway because of that. It was crazy. But there was a lot of good stuff there too. There were so many temptations. I'm not even kidding. Part of me wishes I did have that PayPal money. I could have gotten some good stuff out of that. But as you can tell, I still made off like a fucking bandit, so I'm not complaining too much.
Don't even get me started.
Hey, you got your death side. I don't want your shit.
No. I'm referring to the bank.
Let's not get into that. But you know, it was a lot of good stuff and a lot of cool people there. A lot of the vendors are really cool. We got to hang out with Sanja from Japan Hero Collectibles. She's really awesome. Did some cool cosplay. Again, shout out to my Kamen Rider, the Florida Kamen Rider and Sentai Club. A lot of their members were there this weekend. Very cool people. Yeah, so much Toku stuff. I'm not even kidding. So much Toku stuff. Japan Hero Collectibles and the Kamen Rider Club group, the booth that we saw, both had a lot of good stuff. There were a couple others that had some really good Toku stuff. A lot of Power Ranger stuff, obviously. A lot of a couple of good anime booths. There was a Marvel booth out there too. There was like a comic book booth that had a whole bunch of Marvel and DC stuff. There was also a charity group that was there. That was like asking for costume donations to use in, like, I guess they're one of these groups that goes out to hospitals and stuff, is dressed as heroes and kind of give the kids there some fun. There was even a couple of raffles that were going on that weekend. Dozier was doing a raffle for a replica Zeo Crystal, like an entire Zeo Crystal set, all 5 of them. Really cool. Fortunately, I did enter, but I didn't win. Unfortunately, it was kind of sad, but And then after what happened with Paris, and I don't think I need to go into that. I'm pretty sure most of you know that story by now. Starting at the After Dark panel, Austin St. John and his agent Zach McGinnis put together a raffle to give away like two sets of autographs. One was a SPD poster autographed by all the cast, by the SPD cast, and then the big prize was a set of autographed pictures signed by pretty much everybody. I think the only autograph they didn't get was Matt Austin, but they got everybody else. They had two different raffles for that. Unfortunately, even though we had like 3 tickets going in, and then they turned around and were just literally giving out tickets at the last minute, so they could get it up to like over $3,000 in donations. We still didn't win either one, and a little disappointing there. But hey, you know what? Again, it was going for the money was going to be donated to charity to help for the Paris attacks, so it was going to a good cause. We did our part. That's all that matters. Yeah. DLBot explaining what was going on in the dealer's room. They had belts, collectibles, selling a whole bunch of loose Toko items in a box for half off. And there was some good stuff in there, too. There was, like, O's drivers, doubles drivers. There was, like 1 or 2 Forza drivers in there, even. And a whole bunch of other shit. They had, I think they had, 2 Kiva belts in there. Freaking insane. DLBot, that booth that you're talking about was the one run by the Florida Kamen Rider and Super Sentai Club. Because I know for a fact that the redhead there was actually Mandy, one of the admins, I believe. Really cool lady. Really cool. So a lot of good stuff going on at this con. All right, Maddie. Have a safe flight. But I think we're pretty much done. There's not much left for us to talk about here. So I'm going to wrap this up here in a minute. But once again, I have to say, this was a fantastic Rangerstop. What few nitpicks that we had, I honestly have with the con this year, and a lot of it's not with the con itself, it's just individual things. And those nitpicks are more than made up for by the fun experience that we had, both in meeting the Rangers, hanging out with friends. Oh, you know what? There is one person I forgot to talk about who we hung out with this weekend. I almost forgot because I'm a freaking idiot. Matt Burkett showed up this weekend. Fucking a posy hack was there. Funny story. Me and Mike Show were sitting in the lobby, just chilling out, trying to cool down. And during that time, Zeron also came over and started, sat down and chatted with us for a second. And as we're sitting there, I see this group of guys walking by, and I quickly realized the guy in the front looks a little familiar. I look at him, I'm like, oh shit, that's Matt. I call his ass over. They had literally just came in. They were just heading over to get their badges. It's freaking insane. Oh, speaking of badges, I forgot to show that off. This is the badge they gave us this year. That's the Rangerstop badge. Really freaking cool. Basically, they just had this little sticker at the bottom, if you were press, staff, guest, whatever. But yeah, freaking Matt, reviewer 1 was there. Matt Burkett, he was freaking awesome. Very cool hanging out with him. And he had his buddy Oscar from that, who we met at ShadowCon as well, and a couple other guys. They shot around some. I know they walked around for a little bit, shot some stuff for Monstrosities, and other shit like that, and just very fun, very cool. Just very happy to get to see him again this year. But the only regret on that regard is that Lady K over here couldn't join us for that. He would have loved to have seen her and probably have met the kids. Yeah, I know. I feel bad too. But yeah, the experience we had this year was just amazing. Again, you know, a good measure of a con is that in their first few years, they quickly get better and better every year, and Rangerstop is proving themselves right now. This year was definitely better than last year's, and you remember how much we praised last year's. I can make nitpicks here and there, but honestly, overall, Rangerstop was a blast. There was not enough nitpicks for me to honestly say it was anything less than a great con. So next year, Rangerstop 4, you guys need to be there. Start saving your money and get your ass to Rangerstop, because you guys don't want to miss out. Because Jonas is already talking about ideas for next year's Rangerstop, and I can only imagine how much bigger it's going to get. And bear in mind, because it's going to be a Morphicon year, they're not going to be focusing on the same group of Rangers. So you can imagine that Jonamus and Mikey are already working to change things up next year. And I'm going to bet we're going to be in for even bigger surprises than this year. This year, we got Yoshi fucking Tadarasu. Just imagine what they're going to get next year. Keep your eyes peeled. And rest assured, we will be one of the many stops you will be making on the road to Rangerstop to find out who's going to be there. So definitely look forward to that. I'm looking forward to Rangerstop next year, and I hope you guys are too. We'll have all of our exclusive interviews and the Ranger Recap panel ready for you guys coming soon, as well as a special crossover review in the near future. You guys are going to have a lot of fun coming up, but not as much fun as if you were actually at Rangerstop. Guys need to be here next time. But that's going to do it for us here tonight. Let me give you guys a rundown of what's happening this week here on RVTV. Because I am the one you should fear the most. Because I am the one who will take you down. Let's turn that down. Thought I had that turned down. Anywho. Make sure you guys tune in on out. We're going to check out the latest episode of Power Rangers Dino Charge, and probably share at least some brief thoughts on the Rangerstop, but we'll be saving the big part of that discussion for Wednesday with Meta J Live. Special edition of Meta J Live, where myself, Mike Shell, TWK possibly might be there, and even Easy Rider might even be there. We don't know. So definitely check that out. You guys are going to have a blast with that. We're going to tell all about Rangerstop on Wednesday. You definitely want to check that out. Then on Thursday, Rift Down with TWK and the crew. Latest episode of SmackDown's on the air, so you want to check out see what TM and the crew is going to be up to. It's going to be crazy. Then on Friday, it's going to be RVT Game Night. It's going to be, I believe, Wii U Game Night this week. So me and TW will be back at it again. I believe it's Smash Brothers this week, but we'll see what happens with that. Definitely going to check that out. Then on Saturday, it's SNN Gaming with Tony Helms and the gang. You definitely don't want to miss what them guys are going to be up to. TW will probably be joining them for that as well, so you definitely want to see what the fun action is going to be there. Then on Sunday, Toker Live is back on the air. I know you guys missed it last week, but I promise you we will be back this week. Myself, Easy Rider, and Spade Ace will be there to check out the latest episodes of Kamen Rider Sentai and Ultraman. Definitely don't want to miss that. Then, of course, come right back right here next Monday for the Rising Sun Podcast, the official anime podcast of RVT. It's Viewer's Choice next week. So make sure you guys send in your submissions to my email, gcon85@gmail.com. Let us know what anime you guys want to see, and we'll definitely have that up for you guys next Monday night. But that is going to do it for us here tonight. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight to my lovely little show. Make sure you guys tune in on. Make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube if you haven't already. If you find yourself willing and able, please subscribe to my Patreon. Help keep this show going. See if we can do even better. And make sure you also subscribe to the RVT YouTube channel for all the latest from our contributors, as well as all of our live streams. But until then, we want to thank you guys on behalf of Lady K over here on the Shades, and we will see you guys next time. Rock on!